Right. First of all, I apologize for the horrible audio quality, but this is just a quick mic that I could use to record the screen. So anyway, the thing I wanted to show you was this. So say I have an audio track, any audio track will do. It's a random thing, and let's say I have some automation. I'll just record some automation on this track using a controller on my desktop. I'll just doing some random fader movements. All right, suppose that's enough. And there we go. So this is what I just recorded. And the thing is the following. So what I love about Nuendo and Cubase is the tilt control, the scale, and I think this is called compress. But I call it differently. But anyway, the ways you can kind of manipulate the automation data. And the thing that happened since the latest update, I'm working in Nuendo 8.3.15, but I think this problem was introduced in 8.2, like before that it didn't happen, is that whenever I scale this part, let's say I want to scale like the first part of it and I want it to kind of, I don't know, tilt it down a little bit, then what happens is this point is created over here. And I generally don't want that. I want it to do this, basically. Or if I would, take the first half, for example, let's say I want this to be a bit louder in the end and this a bit softer in the beginning, like that. Then it creates this point and it creates this point, and I don't want those. And that is new. It didn't used to happen. So you might argue that this might actually be, a nice feature to have if you don't want to, say you want to edit this middle portion and you want the rest to be intact and you don't want this line to change. But there was actually always a way to do that with the range selection tool. You could just select a range that you wanted to edit, and when you edit that range, it puts points in front of it and behind it just to make sure that the curve before and after are untouched. So that function was actually already there, and I would use the range function for that specific thing. But what I want in this case is that it would just do that. And I'm giving you examples where the differences between like the point that you ended on and the point that you want to throw away are very big, so it's easy to throw it away. But let's say you have a curve where you do, I don't know, maybe you do this. So, well, this is also weird. Since one of the latest versions, it's in some rare cases it does not add the extra point. So this is, it just keeps the last point over there. All right, so I'll just select these as well. Let's say the difference is this, and again, this is still an example where it's actually pretty clear. But if there's a lot of automation information, you might just not see that. But a jump like that could result in like unwanted ticks in your sound or whatever. So, I mean, it actually becomes hard to kind of select the point you want to delete. Actually, I can't even. Now I have it. So actually, basically, this is a cry for Steinberg to please revert this back to the behavior that it had before, as this was just immensely useful, and now it's just become a workflow hell to erase these points all the time after you edit some automation, especially in cases where the automation is close together. It just becomes a real hassle of getting rid of those extra points that aren't needed. Because again, just to summarize, if you want to edit a specific part, you could just use the range tool and edit a specific part, and it will add the points that you need to keep the rest of the automation intact.